What is up, everybody? What is up, my man?
Not much.
In the box, and not the good kind of box. Anyway, guys, before we get started real quick, if you get a chance, go over to www.londonreal.tv. These guys, they have a podcast, and I don't know if you guys have ever listened to the Joe Rogan Experience. They're very similar to them. They're based out of the UK, and these guys talk about pretty much anything and everything. Anything from philosophy to relationships to mixed martial arts to sports
Talking
news.
about they philosophize?
They're talking about philosophize. But
man, that's
they got a
crazy.
really good podcast. They're one of the top podcasts over in the UK. So if you get a chance, go check them out and let us know what you think. Now,
I guess they were happy. I guess they were happy with last night's results.
Oh yeah, because the UK put it on strong, man, in the Ultimate Fighter.
Whoa! I wouldn't say they put it on strong.
Yeah, I did.
The dude showed up and the dude fought, but it was not, in my opinion, a strong showing for a cat that was picked number one.
Right.
Against essentially what was the 8th seed.
Yeah, you know what? And I gotta agree with you on that one, man, because it was funny because they. At the end of the fight, and the fight we're talking about is episode 2 aired of The Ultimate Fighter, Jones versus Sonnen last night. And it basically pitted, I guess Sonnen's #1 pick?
Yeah.
Against I guess Jones's 4th pick?
4th, which if you think about it, that would mean he's either the 7th or 8th best fighter in the house, depending on who picks first.
Right. Now, Jones's, this guy, Gilbert Smith, who was Jones's 4th pick, went up against, this guy, Luke Barnett, who's from the UK. And,
dude, and Gil Smith is all of like 5'8", 5'10", maybe. And the dude he was going up against was what, 6'2" and some change?
He was tall. He was probably the tallest guy in the house, in my opinion.
6'6"?
Yeah, he looked
huge.
He looked pretty tall, very lengthy. But most people thought from the jump street that it was a bad pick for Jones to have the chance to pick that fight and to pick the first fight and to make that choice. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
whoa. Barnett's 6'6", Gilbert Smith is 5'9".
Right, so 5'9". So dude's like almost like my height and shit. That's fucking crazy.
So I was thinking with that height discrepancy issue, I'm thinking, oh, Gil's gonna have to get in close and smother him, and that's exactly what he did.
Right.
Except for in the second round, he just I wouldn't say mistimed. It's just he decided to shoot when that guy threw one of the weakest flying knees I've ever seen, but it's just hit his head and put him to sleep.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now. Luke being a #1 pick, he's not a #1 pick, dude. I wouldn't have taken him first. He's not impressive. And
that's that's the thing. That's what raised questions. Like before he caught him with that knee. Okay, how did you have the fight scored?
Dude, they would have had to go to a 3rd round for me.
I would have had him. Yeah.
It just wasn't impressive. And the reason I was pulling for Gil the most is because his teammates are a bunch of bitches.
They just seem, they didn't give the guy any confidence. Like, it's like, you know what? Hey, I know it looks like a funny matchup. The other guy's real lengthy, but at least support your teammate, Exactly. The only guy on his squad that supported him was Clint. And I love it because this fucking bag of shit, Adam Celia, whatever his name is, he got picked damn sight near almost dead last. He was running his mouth, and he has the unenviable task going up against Uriah Hall next week. And I have a feeling Hall's going to put this boy in the hospital, according to Dana. Right. I mean, and now, if you guys, Uriah Hall was Chael Sonnen's 2nd pick, and this guy, Adam Celia was, I believe he was Jones's the 6th pick.
6. So that means he's either the 12th or 13th best fighter in the house.
Right.
How the fuck you gonna mouth off you got picked 6? Why don't you just shut up and stay in the back?
And this is the thing, man. I mean, this guy so far, and I mean, obviously everybody thinks it. All the, Dana White thinks it. Both the coaches think it. They think this guy fucking Uriah is nasty. He looks nasty. He's got great striking ability, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think he's going to just put this fucking cat out next week.
Well, yeah, I mean, Dana said in media coming up that there's one guy in the house that everyone's afraid of. He put 2 people in the hospital, and if anyone watched it last night, you saw the preview of the ambulance coming. So,
right.
I mean, my money's on Hall to knock this cat out. I'll be shocked if it's Adam, but I think Sonnen's got it right. I mean, my #1 guy fought. Now I might as well take my #2 and pick off one of the low-tier guys and keep my high-end guys around.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a good position right now. I mean, that bad pick by Jones really put Sonnen in a good position. Now, moving out of the Ultimate Fighter and talking about staying on the reality series thing, Bellator, son.
Yeah, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and this is one of those cases where if you'd have told me that Randy Couture would go sign with a rival company to take on a role or do anything, I'd be like, yeah, right. But it turns out Randy Couture went and signed with Bellator to do what?
He's basically going to be part of their reality series. And let me tell you something. Bellator is making a name for themselves. They're quickly, you know, I think because they started out on MTV, they got a lot of that mainstream people who are learning about MMA and found the fights exciting. And they kind of, you know, you attach yourself to the athletes that you recognize, you know? And
right. And now they've moved to Spike TV in a better time slot.
Yeah, and they filled that void that, you know, Spike had when obviously the Ultimate Fighter left. And you know what? Their first show, I mean, they've done well. They had 938,000 people viewing that 2-hour special. And now you got Randy Couture.
You said 938 people watched it?
938,000.
Oh, I was about to say 938 people. That ain't good.
That ain't too good. But I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, obviously Dana White was not happy about it. He's made it very vocal. You know, obviously, you know, Randy Couture was supposed to be at UFC on Fox 6 as a commentator, and he wasn't, and Chael Sonnen took his place. So now you're looking at a UFC Hall of Famer being part of Bellator. I mean, so what the fuck? What do you think?
That's as surprising as finding out that Kevin Ferguson is 7-0 in boxing. And for you people who don't think we follow boxing, Kimbo Slice fought in Australia this past weekend on the undercard of a kangaroo versus a mountain lion, and Kimbo Slice won again. YouTube that shit. But back to the Randy Couture thing.
Who are they finding to fight him, man? Who the fuck are they finding to fight Kimbo Slice?
Dude, I don't know. Like I said, he went all the way to Australia to fight.
I know.
It's not like, I mean...
That's a long-ass ways for a fight. Anyway, I mean, let us know your thoughts. Now, this is the other news I want to touch on real quick, and then we'll wrap it up, is Nick Diaz actually... had to go to Montreal to promote his upcoming fight at UFC 158.
That Bama was probably heavily medicated. Talking about GSP, I like him. Since when? No one likes GSP but Canadians.
Right. Well, he's you know, he went up there to promote the fight. Dana White was like, there was no problems with him. He stood around, signed autograph, hung out with the people. So he wasn't acting weird. He wasn't office. Didn't miss any flights. So
he still looked. Did you see any of the camera work, dude? Did you see any of it? That Bama looks so uncomfortable in front of a camera. You know what Dana White said? Look, you show up to all these media events, we're going to put some extra money in your pocket.
Right. Now,
that's the only way I think Diaz shows up and plays Mr. Nice Guy.
I just, you know, it's funny. But anyway, I mean, with this happening, you know, obviously Johnny Hendricks got the leapfrog. I don't think anybody wants to fuck with Johnny Hendricks because that motherfucker...
Who's Johnny Hendricks?
Yeah, that's how it's going to be in a couple of weeks because, you know, who cares if he's beating the shit out of everybody and knocking everybody out.
Speaking of other bullshit news you hear in the MMA world, Kung Lee has come out and said that he'd fight Anderson Silva. Why? Why do you want to do that to yourself? Yeah, dude. Dude, the MMA. This is my only problem with the MMA.
Dude,
like we're already getting fights announced for like UFC 168.
And you can't
seriously,
can
we just take this shit 1 week at a time?
Right. Anyway, guys, let us know, you know, if you guys are keeping up with the Ultimate Fighter, what do you think? Who you think is going to come out of the house on top? Let us know what you think about this big signing with Randy Couture and Bellator, because that is some huge-ass news, and it's for
all of our boxing fans. What do you think about Kimbo? Yeah.
Kimbo Slice being 7-0. Don't ever say we didn't keep up with boxing, bitches. We're out.